All right, let's just jump right in. We're about to talk about how artificial intelligence is making this incredible leap from our computers into our own bodies. And look, this isn't some far-off future we're talking about. It's happening right now, and it is absolutely set to change everything we thought we knew about medicine.
I really want you to let that sink in for a second. The stuff we're about to explore, it isn't just theory anymore. These are real technologies popping up right now that are literally rewriting the rules of human health.
So what are we actually talking about here? Well, get this. Researchers basically fed an AI a massive amount of data, hundreds of thousands of blood samples. The AI taught itself to see these unique protein patterns, and then it did something mind-blowing. It started predicting the odds of someone developing over 3,000 different diseases, sometimes years, literally years, before a single symptom shows up. It's like a weather forecast for your own body.
And the power of AI doesn't just stop at predicting things, not even close. Next up, let's get a glimpse of what tomorrow looks like, because AI is adding a whole new dimension to how we can see a disease, especially something as tangled and complex as a tumor.
Now, what's so cool about this is the change in perspective. We go from looking at a flat 2D slice of tissue, like a paper map, to this living, breathing, three-dimensional city model of the entire tumor. Doctors can now spin it around, see where the cancer has built its fortresses, where the immune cells are fighting back, and this is the crucial part, where the tumor's weakest points are. This was just physically impossible to see before.
So, this is the obvious question, right? If AI can do all this incredible stuff, why isn't it standard practice everywhere? Well, it turns out the journey from a pristine research lab to a busy, real-world hospital is a huge leap, and it's filled with some really, really stubborn problems.
So let's get into the yeah buts part of the story. Let's look at those real-world hurdles. There are really three major problems we have to solve before this future becomes our present.
And here are the big three: the trust problem, the alert fatigue problem, and the generalizationality problem. Each one of these is a fundamental challenge to actually getting AI to work in the day-to-day chaos of a hospital.
First up, the trust problem. A doctor can't just walk into a room and tell a patient they're going to change their entire course of treatment because the algorithm said so. That's just not how medicine works. So the solution is something called explainable AI. Instead of just spitting out an answer, it actually shows its work. It points to the specific biological reasons why it came to its conclusion. This turns the AI from a mysterious black box into a kind of transparent research partner. Then you have alert fatigue. And this slide is a pretty stark, real-world example. During the pandemic, a hospital used an AI to try to predict which COVID patients were about to get worse. But as the virus changed, the AI's old data just didn't hold up. It started screaming wolf, firing off constant false alarms. The doctors, already exhausted, lost all trust in it, and they just shut it down. The lesson here? The AI has to fit into the clinical reality, not fight against it.
And this right here perfectly illustrates that third problem, generalizability. An AI trained in one big fancy hospital can be incredibly accurate, maybe 90%. But take that exact same AI and drop it into a smaller hospital with different equipment, different patients, and suddenly its accuracy can just plummet. And why? Because the AI didn't just learn about the disease. It also learned all the weird little quirks of the first hospital's lab equipment.
So this leads to a massive dilemma. To make an AI that works for everyone, you need data from everyone. But we're talking about our most sensitive medical records here. If you try to pool all of that in one place, you'd create a privacy nightmare. It just seems like an impossible problem to solve.
But it turns out there's a solution. And it's one of those ideas that is so clever, so elegant, it's almost beautiful in how simple it is. It's called federated learning. And what that means is it completely flips the old way of doing things on its head. Instead of having all the data travel to a central AI, the AI actually travels out to the data.
So here's how that works. A copy of the AI model is sent out to a hospital. It learns from all the patient data right there, safely behind the hospital's own firewall. Then, and this is the genius part, it doesn't send any of that private data back. It only sends back the insights, the patterns, the learnings. The central model then takes those learnings from tons of different hospitals and gets smarter and more powerful, all without a single patient's record ever leaving its home base.
Now look, it's not a perfect system. A bad actor could, in theory, try to poison the main model by feeding their local AI corrupted data. But researchers are already way ahead of this, and they're building really sophisticated detection systems designed to sniff out and stop exactly that kind of attack.
So,
With these big problems starting to get solved, we can begin to look even further into the future to tackle one of the most expensive, slowest, and frankly, most frustrating parts of all of science, discovering new drugs.
The way we've traditionally done this means sifting through millions and millions of molecules, and it can take years. But these new hybrid systems, the ones that combine AI with quantum computing, they can find really promising drug candidates in just a matter of weeks. And the way things are going, future systems could do it in hours, maybe even minutes.
And this isn't science fiction. To find a treatment for a cancer protein that had stumped everyone, one of these hybrid systems analyzed over 1 million possible molecules in just a few weeks. I mean, just let the sheer scale and speed of that sink in for a moment.
And here it is. This is the ultimate goal of all of this work, to create a system that can build a digital twin of your unique biology and then simulate exactly how you, not an average person, but you specifically, will respond to a drug before you ever take a single dose. That completely changes how we make decisions about our own bodies.
So what does this all add up to? When you put it all together, AI isn't just about making computers faster. It's about giving us a tool that can finally help us understand the incredibly complex biological story that's unfolding inside every single one of us. With these kinds of tools, we're learning to see the very first warning signs of a disease long before it ever has a chance to take hold. We're finally moving from reacting to predicting.
And we're learning to move away from one-size-fits-all medicine. We're starting to create treatments that are as unique and complex as we are.
And that, right there, is the most powerful takeaway. This AI, it isn't just learning to read the language of our biology. For the very first time, it is learning to help us rewrite the ending to our own health stories.
And that leaves us with a pretty profound question, doesn't it? We are gaining this incredible, unprecedented level of control over our own biology. So, as we stand here at the very beginning of this new chapter, if we can truly rewrite the story of disease, what ending will we choose?